garden, I figured it was appropriate to start this video in the garden because I hope and pray that everyone's 2026 will be full of growth and blooming and beautiful things. Truly, truly hope that for you. Today, we're refreshing our home, our hearts for the new year, taking down all our Christmas decor, tidying up, and I also wanted to share some thoughts, dreams, desires for the new year. I love to sit down every year and just kind of reflect. I'm a sensitive creature who enjoys and craves that time of reflection and just peaceful moments, especially before we feel like we're beginning something new and a whole new year full of new opportunities. So I will share some thoughts, but first let me give you just a little update of Christmas, winter break. Your girl was having a rough time. A couple days before Christmas, I was in the kitchen, washing dishes, washing a glass container, and then all of a sudden it broke and I got a finger injury. I'm gonna keep it light because no one wants the gruesome details, but it was not a pretty sight. And basically we tried to go to urgent cares because this had never happened to me before. I had never experienced anything like this. So we tried to go to the urgent care. I was feeling hopeful. Maybe they could just, put some glue on it. No big deal. No. We went to 3 different urgent cares and all of them were like, no. So we ended up going to the emergency room. 3 stitches later, they also wanted to do an x-ray because it was glass, just to make sure there were no foreign objects in there. I know it's just not fun to talk about, but thankfully we're on the up and up now, and it's so interesting because I was talking with Brandon just a few days prior to this happening about just what God has taught us this past year, and what I specifically said was healing. Just I'm in awe of how God will heal and just heal those wounds that we've experienced and just create newness and freshness and hope. And I got to witness that once again, very tangibly, which it is mind-blowing. Just, about 13 days ago, I had a whole bandage over my hand, but now I'm just wearing a small little Band-Aid, and I don't even have to wear the Band-Aid. I just do that for extra caution. So I'm thankful to try to find silver linings through every difficult experience like that. But it was a more emotional and physically uncomfortable winter break, and then we went on a family cruise, which was very sweet to have family time, and we're thankful for that. So we're finally just starting to get in the groove and get organized and refreshed, and I hope you guys are doing the same. So let me dive into these dreams and desires. I don't usually think of like a word of the year or anything like that, but one word that I feel like I'm just gravitating more and more to is the word meaningful. And my first one is be a meaningful mother. I mean, I am just thick in my motherhood journey, and raising a toddler, it's just all so special and not lost on me how fleeting it is. So I hope and pray I can be a meaningful and magical mother, soaking our days in inspirations and teachings, because I do believe, like, as caregivers, we're our children's first teacher, and it's such like an honor and a privilege, and I don't take it lightly. So just trying to continue to think of ways to just incorporate our son into this life in a meaningful and purposeful way is my main goal. Of course, being a present and meaningful and magical wife and all of that, and friend, but I am, like I said, just in this motherhood journey, and it's still feeling fresh and everything is new, so soaking it up completely, and I just want to be present and fill our days with that inspiration, like I said. The next one, very fitting that we're in the garden, because I want to grow alongside the garden, and this is something we've been working on for a couple years, but we really do hope to become backyard beekeepers this year. We have our hive in the garage, well, that box, the outline of the hive, not the living hive, of course, and I hope that we can make it happen this year, but of course we don't take it lightly. We want to be very informed and make sure these bees are in the best hands as possible. So we did a course a couple years ago, and I feel like we have the information we need. It's just a matter of making it happen. So hopefully we can support that, but overall, I want to enrich the ecosystem through our garden, and selfishly, it provides so much inspiration to me to get to witness these creatures like the bees, the bird's nest, the baby bunnies, like all of these creatures so tangibly close that I'm able to witness their life cycle, the caterpillar to the butterfly. It truly is so awe-inspiring to me. So just continuing to be present in the garden, providing as much pollinator-friendly plants as possible, and just making it a safe space for wildlife is the goal. The next one is to hone in on health, which is very New Year's resolution-y, but what I mean by this is I want to focus on consuming healing foods. The older I get, the more interested I am in nutrition and just how important food is for our overall well-being physically, but also I do believe that your physical health affects your mental health as well. So really focusing on those healing foods and creating those for my family is a big one. You guys know I love to cook and put together recipes, so that's definitely a big one. Oh, lovely bird. And also a balanced movement routine. I have really not been in my movement groove. Of course, I go on walks and play with our son and our dog and all of that, but really where it's balanced and mindful, I don't really do that so often anymore. So I did put together a little schedule for myself, which I'll share with you. It's Monday through Friday, and it's very attainable for my life. So Monday, I'm gonna do strength upper body. So I did it for the first time this week, and what I did was a 10-minute YouTube video arm workout, and I'm still sore. I am still sore 3 days later. So we are just gonna start with that, 10 minutes each day. Well, the walks, okay, let me give you the rest of the details. And then Tuesday, I'm gonna do cardio. So that can be a bike ride, a walk, or jump rope. I kind of want to get into jump rope. Brandon does it, and it looks fun. It's like such a childlike thing to do. Wednesday, strength. So Wednesday's gonna be my lower body strength. And this week I did a 15-minute YouTube MadFit workout, and it was like a combo of glutes and legs and calves, so that was great. And then Thursday it's going to be another cardio day, so bike, walk, jump, and then Friday, yoga. And that's my little schedule, and this just feels, again, very attainable because it's not super time consuming, and most of it I'm able to do in the comfort of my home, and my son likes to watch and join in too, so that works out nicely. And this just feels right for me, but I do again feel like the physical movement is very good for my mental space as well, so I definitely want to get back in the groove with that. And then the next one, gather generously, warmly welcome others into our home through continuous celebrations, big or small. I love to host. I love a themed party. We gotta keep it going, of course, but maybe we'll do more small things this year, like, just playing. I want to do more game nights. I feel like I said that last year too, and we didn't even do the game nights. So I hope to do that, but it's such an honor and a privilege to welcome community in your home, but sometimes it feels exhausting because, it takes a lot of work to plan it, coordinate, but then also set everything up. So it's an honor and a privilege, but I hope I can just remain with a servant heart, and just the gratitude to be able to do that and make all of those celebrations and events meaningful in times of deep connection. That just is such a fulfilling part of life, and I hope to do more of that. And even in this little space right here in our little garden, the amount of dinner parties and dancing that we've experienced here truly means the world to me, so definitely more of that in this year. Next one, remain in rhythm. I like rhythm overall, but my husband this is more of his strong suit, which I appreciate that he's added this to my life a lot. And a few rhythms that we've established, or habits you could say, are our weekly date nights, and this is such a life-giving time for us, and we always pretty much most of the time end up having conversations that we wouldn't have had any other time throughout the week. Even though we're together almost all day, every day, it's different when you have that solidified time, like, okay, this is our date night. And oftentimes lately it's been after our baby goes to bed at home around the dinner table or on the porch, so it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but this has been really, really helpful for our marriage and our connection, and also just for us to like let things out that's stuck in our head. The next one is our Sabbath. So we do this every weekend. We take a day and this is our rest day. So we don't go on email or social media, don't do online shopping or chores around the house. It's really a day of rest and enjoyment, and this has been one of the best practices of our life ever, and I'm just thankful to continue to do this. And then some others: quiet time and cozy community converging. For this one specifically, something that was helpful for us last year is having like monthly hangouts with friends. One thing we did was picnic and pickleball. So once a month we would meet at the park with the families and play pickleball and picnic, and that was fabulous. So I'd love to continue to do that, but also establish other ones like the game nights I was saying, or a sunset at the beach once a month with friends. Stuff like that I feel like is more attainable than trying to do something every single week. And lastly, you know, we always have the travel bug a little bit, but explore the earth, new, old, near, and far. I could see us doing more close trips this year, especially because we have other projects we want to work on. So whether that be beach towns in Florida that we explore that we haven't explored before, or road trips. We'd love to visit Savannah and Charleston again. It's been a few years since we visited, so I feel like that's a really fun, attainable one for early spring, hopefully. So that's what's on the horizon. That's what we're hoping for, but it's always fun to just sort of like dump out all my words and thoughts and just have a moment to dream for the new year. We gotta stay dreaming. We gotta stay hoping for the best and trying to make this life, as I'm gonna say it again, meaningful as possible. So there we go. Now I'm gonna insert the footage of taking down our precious beloved Christmas decor. It definitely is always bittersweet, but it does feel nice to have a clean slate. And then after that, I wanna take some time to freshen up our home. So get some cleaning done, tidying up, and then also just switching out some of the decor holes of where our Christmas stuff was and adding in maybe some Valentine's Day stuff, some heart stuff. Sounds like a good plan to me. So good still. We've accumulated quite the collection of Christmas books thanks to our community, and I think next year it would actually be really fun to do a little book advent, or yeah, kind of like a book advent. I started last year. I wrapped some of the books, the Christmas books we had, and the idea is for our son to open it each day in December. But he loves his books, but I feel like next year he'll be able to appreciate the opening of each day and kind of conceptualize that more. So I think we'll save that for next year, except I might just not want to wrap them, and just he can wake up to a different book every day and we can start the day with a little story time. That sounds really sweet, but I love all these books, but this will actually take up quite a bit of room in our storage boxes. So we'll see if we need to find a different spot for them, or if I can get crafty and fit them in somehow, some way. Most of these books I feel like are a gift for me because I simply love reading kids' books. This reusable paper chain is such a brilliant invention. I wonder how many years I'll be able to use it. As we were pulling all the storage out from the garage, Brandon goes, yeah, feel free to, you know, like give anything away that you don't think you'll use anymore. He's definitely more of a minimalist. And I just giggled at that because doesn't he know you can't get between a lady and their trinkets? But it's funny. He was really sweet, complimenting how much he loves the decorations and how I make our home cozy. So I appreciate that. But it's funny, the contrast between us both. But we're going to be tactical and practical-ish as we put everything away because I am kind of amazed how much I can fit in 2 storage boxes between the compression bags, and then I also have these tree storage bags that I can fit like garland and some pillows if we have some overflow. Shadow box art light that Brandon got me for my birthday is one of my favorite things. It's so special. It's designed mainly like for kids and for playrooms, but I delight in it a lot, and so does our son. It's for everyone. And he picked out some other art, and I'm debating which one to do for now. I'm kind of thinking this bee one is perfect and kind of will take us into springtime, but this one's also really fun. I already put this one in the lamp a little bit in November, so we'll do the bee and switch it out completely. So cheerful. Oh, and I also started reading Wuthering Heights over winter break, and I'm really enjoying it so far. My goal is to finish it before the movie comes out next month. I probably will listen to some of the audiobook as well to be more efficient and to reach that goal. I ended up finishing my Christmas puzzle on Christmas Day, which was what I was hoping for. I had some extra time to puzzle since I had my little finger injury. So I'm thankful we were able to finish that, and now I'm starting to feel brave enough to do an 1,000-piece puzzle. It's also so satisfying to take this apart. So I think we'll do that next. We actually should set one up and put it on the board. I got a couple really cute ones for my birthday. My friend Summer got me a National Park one that's 1,000 pieces, so I think I'm ready to graduate to 1,000 pieces, but maybe I'll regret that. But I feel like winter time is still a really good time to have those peaceful puzzle moments. I know most people do the edges of puzzles first, but typically I just kind of do a color cluster and go from there. But this time I've told myself that I'm gonna do the border first and see how I like that. It's cute that this puzzle comes in this little bag. I like that too. And then I was thinking it's kind of funny that this is where you see where the pieces go or how the final artwork will look, but they included this little sheet so you can look at that, which is a lot more convenient than keeping this container out. So I can just put this in one of the little side storages when I'm getting stuck on something. This is a lot of pieces. This is double the amount than I did last time. Ooh, I love when I have some pieces that are already together. Kind of feels like cheating, but kind of just feels like a little helping hand, right? We're not gonna just not take the help, right? We have plenty of other pieces to put together. Time to pack up our Christmas sweaters for the season. I love to put some of them out on our little clothing rack so that they're easily accessible, but the time has come to switch them out, and I actually put them all in a air compression bag and put it at the top of my closet just to sort of store everything away. And it's exciting at the beginning of Christmas time to pull them out and remember all the cozy times in these sweaters. It's seriously my December uniform, right? These sweaters. Autumn may be long gone, but the pumpkin patch is still popping. We've got 3 over here on this side. They're actually probably ready for harvest, but I just like how they look out here. I'll harvest them shortly. And then we have this one growing. Looks a little straggly over there, but hey, we still got pumpkins coming in. Have one down here on the ground. Our snapdragon is absolutely thriving, and our cosmos too. I love how they just reseed and keep looking beautiful. And then we have one nestled in there. We have one down here. This one's also ready for harvest. So cute. We still haven't tried one. They have a really long shelf life, but once we harvest some more, we'll definitely have a little pumpkin feast. Brandon gifted me some fresh garden gloves in my stocking for Christmas, which was very thoughtful because these literally have holes in them in the fingertips. So it's really nice to have a fresh pair, and I'm just giggling at the difference between these 2 gloves because they're from the same place, same brand, and you can see this one is quite faded. I'm thankful that our Birds of Paradise plant has been thriving even when we moved it into our little playroom reading room for the Christmas and fall. Did we move it in the fall? No, we had it out in the fall, but the Christmas trees were here, so we had to move it over there, and it did totally fine. It's a lot more flexible. I originally potted a palm tree in here in our living room, and that was a little delusional of me. Didn't do so well. So the Birds of Paradise, thankfully, I think will be here for the long haul, but thankful for a refreshed space, and I feel like my mind is a little clearer now. I absolutely adore Christmas time so much, but I also very much enjoy just the simplicity of the start of the new year. So I really hope that you all are doing well. We're actually doing a little family trip to Palm Beach this weekend, so I plan to film a travel vlog. The last time, I actually already have a travel vlog of Palm Beach, but that was from 4 years ago with Liz. It was a girls trip, so it'll be a little different this time, but I'm looking forward to that. And again, all that's to come this year. Wishing you all the best and excited to see you next. Bye!